Hey, my people, welcome to Tech Focus 24. My name is Sami Dawuna and this is Big Tech GH. Now, today, I want to talk to you about something that is coming up in this country for the first time. And one thing I've noticed with Ghanaians is, and even including the media, when things are about to happen, particularly within the telecoms industry, and probably even all other industries, sometimes the regulators involved engage us in the public consultation by doing what the law says they should do, i.e. publish the public consultation documents on their website for us as a public to then go in there and then make our contributions, make our inputs, raise our objections where we feel like, and say whatever we want to say. Ultimately, what they are asking us to do is to make a contribution into whatever is coming. But sometimes we don't pay attention. We wait when the thing breaks on us. Then you see that then everybody, huge public outcry, as if we were never consulted in the first place. And sometimes even the industries that these regulations affect, for which we are being asked as consumers, because it will affect us as well, to make contributions, those industry players are aware. And so it is sometimes it behooves on them. It is their duty to then call upon their customers and we the consumers to then go in there and make some contributions, probably even suggest things to us to go and say, so that our voices will be heard. So, but we don't, and we wait and things happen, and then it takes us by surprise. And then when a thing has happened, then we begin to cry and begin to shout, hey, no, this no, it's not good for consumers. Hey. Listen, guys, NCA started a whole public consultation from January, but from January all the way to 8th of March, about a new law that is coming, a new regulation that is coming, that will empower NCA to control or regulate telecom tariffs in this country for the first time in the history of the country. We have always had price liberalization, telecom tariff liberalization in this country, where telcos themselves decide what tariffs they want to put out there, and then they inform the NCA. Of course, every telco want to be competitive, or whether it's an ISP or whatever, they want to be competitive. So they look at the prices that other people are putting out there, and then they also, so we end up, even though there's liberalization, you don't see prices going up in a certain way, or because the telcos are not a cartel that they go and sit down together and plan and come and place together. But then, because MTN Ghana was named an SMP, now SMP is significant market power, and the reason for which they named MTN SMP, I'm sure we have done videos on this thing, we've written articles about it, so I don't even have to belabor the point about SMP. The MTN has become so big that they are now even independent of the industry, such that they are almost on their way to become a monopoly. And there are so many reasons that have been given for this. But one thing I can tell you is that check the industry. Almost everybody that came around the time MTN came, I've left the market. Glow is gone. Vodafone left recently. Airtel is gone. Tigo is gone. Kasapa, as for Kasapa, especially, they collapsed long ago. So it looks like MTN has become so big, they become such a huge competition for anyone. All the people are leaving the market, and others are even finding it difficult to come. But now, luckily, there's Telecom that has come. There is Airtel to go. Is now, it belongs to government. So now they named it AT Ghana. Okay, so they think that MTN has become so big that it's more like they're even scaring away investors. So they need to be controlled, and ITU, International Telecoms Union, regulations allow that when one player is becoming independent of the entire industry, it's important that their growth is a bit controlled a bit so that others can come. So one of the ways to do these controls, and NCA has implemented a lot of measures, but one of the measures is this price control thing, where they are actually asking MTN not to have the lowest price on the market. Listen very carefully. So if you remember, last year, MTN was selling their data zone packages for very, very affordable, very, very cheap. And they were stopped. They were asked to increase the prices, because if they have lower prices, the other telcos cannot compete, because the other telcos are not even making money in the first place. So if they then have to reduce their prices so that they will be able to compete with MTN, it will not be good for them. So that's a number of measures. I don't want to talk about the SMP thing too much, but then so it is in the spirit of the same, intervention. Are you controlling MTN's prices so that it doesn't become lower? That now the NCA is going on the back of a law in the Electronic Communications Act 775 2008. That's the section 25(2), which allows the NCA to now begin to regulate prices. Number one, if there's an SMP in the market. So the fact that there's an SMP in the market in the name of MTN, that alone even allows NCA to regulate prices. Number two, if there is a sole operator or service provider or network operator or service provider with significant market power and cross-subsidized network or service. When we talk about cross-subsidies, it's like MTN, for instance, because they are big, they have certain services they can give us for free. But then, because of their size, other services will make enough money to even pay to cover for the one for which they are giving us for free. The other telcos don't have the luxury to do that. For instance, if you go on MTN Ayoba, the Ayoba thing is for free. You can go on it for free. But remember that they are making a lot of money from data and then from voice. And so it can pay for whatever investment they are making in Ayoba in order to give to us for free. Do you think Telecel and AT can do that? Oh, no, definitely not. So that's what we call cross-subsidizing. So when the regulator begins to see these things on the market, so that they are doing these things to attract more people to themselves, and then the others cannot do same, then it gives the regulator reason to then begin to control tariffs. Okay, and then the third reason why they can also control tariffs is what? Remember, the number one is the fact of the existence of SMP. Number two, if their SMP is behaving in certain ways that would disadvantage the others. And then number three, if the authority detects anti-competitive pricing or act of unfair competition. So again, like we said, the data zone thing, MTN knew very well that look, the others, they cannot compete. Because the way they made the data zone, it was very difficult for the rest to compete. So now NCA for the need to not begin to control prices. Now NCA put this document about their steps to now control prices on the market out there for us to go and comment. They gave us from January to March 8th. I wonder how many people really want to comment. Now, if the regulation is passed, you will see Ghanaians begin to talk all kinds of pressure groups. Pressure groups now all of a sudden will have a voice and begin to shout, hey, no, why are you controlling prices? No. But remember, I also want to educate you on something, that this price control thing is not just about controlling MTN's prices, but even the other telcos, even the other smaller telcos, their prices are going to be controlled. Why? Because it's not only MTN that will have to go to NCA for approval anytime they are coming to change the price. The other telcos must also do that, because per the law that is coming, what they are saying is that MTN must always have a higher price than the others, but they can always go up to at least 10% more. So for instance, if Vodafone is giving us something, or I keep saying Vodafone, but Telecom, if Telecom is giving us something for 1 cedi, MTN can go either 1 cedi, 1 peso, 1 cedi, 2 pesos, all the way up to 1 cedi, 10 pesos. They cannot go beyond 10 pesos. So in other words, they can only increase up to 10%. Why? Because even though they are supposed to have higher prices, the regulator too want to ensure that they don't also abuse their customers. That the regulator say we can have higher prices, then they begin to if their competitor have 1 cedi, they will make it just 2 cedis or 3 cedis just to be making more money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the regulator had to put in all the mechanisms to ensure that nobody is violating the rules. And the other smaller telcos too, they are also going to be controlled, because to the extent that they are pricing, so they can also now begin to, if they want to punish MTN, they can, for instance, Telecom can come and say, now I'm giving a certain data package for 2 cedis per megabyte, because they want MTN to have something higher, maybe like 2 cedis, 2 pesos, 2 cedis, 10 pesos, so that people will leave MTN and come and join them. But if they begin to do that, well, maybe at the time they were giving 1 cedi, so MTN's was 1 cedi, 10 pesos. So when they change theirs, it means MTN also has to change. So that one has to go to regulator for approval. If it goes and the regulator doesn't approve, it means they cannot change the price. So all of it is also to protect us, the consumers. So in all this, there is some kind of consumer protection too in there. Okay, and that is why they do the thing to we the consumers for whose interest all this is being done, for us to go and comment. But a lot of Ghanaians didn't pay attention. I did a story about it. I talked about it on radio, talked about it on TV, a few TV stations. I don't really know how many people paid attention. So guys, it is coming. NCA is coming to control prices for the first time in this country because of MTN's SMP status. When that time comes and you begin to see that now prices are being controlled, that's not the time for you to now begin to come and shout, because we were given opportunity to go and make our comments. I wonder how many of us did. If you didn't, it's your loss. But the prices are going to be controlled so long as we have an SMP in this country. Remember, it is not the first time MTN has been made an SMP. In 2008, they were made an SMP. In 2015, again, they were made an SMP. But nothing was really done. Nothing much was really done to correct the market imbalance in those times. But now, at least something is being done. There are some people who are still doubting Thomas. They think that what is being done will not yield anything. Indeed, for the past 3 years that they've declared MTN SMP, we have not seen any results in terms of it correcting the market imbalance, as the government said. You know, because MTN is still growing, the others are still dwindling in terms of market share. So we are waiting to see whether these other interventions and other ones, including the national roaming, tech neutrality, because of which now 5G and 4G is going to go to a private individual network, and then every telco will now go to them and go and get a small portion of it and come in. And then all this asymmetrical interconnect rate, 30% has been reduced to help the other telcos against MTN, and all those things. We want to see that how those things will begin to now pan out and then yield to the kind of benefit that we are looking for, i.e. correcting the market imbalance. But the other part of the puzzle is that the regulator too will be required to have a certain mechanism to ensure that the other telcos, whatever benefits that all these interventions are going to get them, they will invest and innovate to make their networks attractive in terms of customer experience. It's not just about price, but it's about the experience as well. That is one thing that the regulator is not paying attention to, because I am not going to just jump from MTN and go to Telecel or to AT just because of price, if I know that I have a better experience on MTN. So it's now, customers are now more enlightened. It's not just about price, it's about experience. So the regulator, the last time the regulator said they have saved the other telcos about 86 million, we asked them how are they ensuring that they are investing. The regulator said it is up to them. So if you say it's up to them, and then yet you keep clipping the wings of their competitor, and then when they get the money, it is up to them what to spend on, and you don't exercise any kind of role, you don't play any kind of role to ensure that they are improving. I think that one too leaves much to be desired. So there must be a certain mechanism to ensure that the others are investing. In the Telecel is here, they have promised to invest and they are investing. AT Ghana also got another partners to also come and invest. So we are hoping that they will also invest. We want to see some quality, because at the end of the day, the quality is also what we the customers are looking for. So all in all, all this is going to be in the interest of the consumer. And so if you fail to go and comment, it's coming. It's coming anyway. Whether with your comment or without your comment, it's still coming. So I'll come back to you again with another compelling edition of Big Tech GH. There is another consultation that is going on right now. I'll come and tell you about it, and I will tell you what to do. God bless.